Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan, and in this video we are going to be talking about potential MVP candidates for the upcoming season. If you watched our live stream, you know that we already made our picks for this award, but we're going to talk about some other guys that we think could possibly be in contention for the award, and then reveal our picks to those of you who don't know them already at the end.
Yeah, so as Ryan said, we have our picks in mind, but we're just going to talk about some other players. First, we know, as we get started, that the MVP is usually a quarterback award, so we're probably going to be heavily talking about quarterbacks. Do you guys have a name you want to throw out there first, but would most likely be a quarterback? Any of you?
Well, this isn't the guy.
Our options?
We're just throwing out top candidates.
I didn't pick this guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if I think he's gonna have a really good year. I almost picked him, but I didn't. I went with someone else who you'll see later. I think Josh Allen, the offensive one on the Buffalo Bills, is a guy who's gonna have a big year. I don't quite think he's gonna win it, but I think he'll definitely be in the running, maybe top 5 MVP candidates. I know there's a lot of differing views on him. Some think he's overrated, some think he's underrated, some think he's gonna decline, some think he's gonna incline and improve a lot. So I really do expect a big year from Josh Allen. I think he's gonna do great things in that Buffalo offense. I'm high on that team in general, but I think Josh Allen is a name to watch.
I was hoping you would say that as I asked it so we could start out with the bang with that one, because Ryan's really high on Josh Allen, but I mean, there's plenty of other quarterbacks out there. Russell Wilson was a guy that almost won it last year. You could throw Lamar Jackson back into the conversation. Mahomes has already won an MVP just like Lamar. A bunch of quarterbacks out there that you would think would come to your mind right away. Maybe even Aaron Rodgers if he could have a good year there. I mean, these are quarterbacks at the top of the odds. And then you could throw in other guys like the Dak Prescotts, the Carson Wentz's of the world. And as you mentioned, Ryan, Josh Allen actually is not too low on the odds for MVP, so that's kind of interesting.
Yep. And I mean, really, there's a lot of guys, like you said, that, could, win this award. And you think, that the running joke is, Drew Brees, doesn't have an MVP. Could he finally break through this year?
I didn't even mention that
one. Or, maybe does Tom Brady have fun with these new receivers in Tampa, and does he go off at age 43? There's just so many possibilities that I think are fun to think about.
Yeah, those two, I don't know why I forgot to mention their names, but you're definitely right.
Yeah.
There's so many of them, and I mean, we've seen a lot of unexpected ones, especially in these past 2 years. No one expected Patrick Mahomes to have the year that he did 2 years ago, and Lamar Jackson did what he did last year. So this could be a very unexpected guy. There's guys at the bottom of the list, like Ryan Tannehill, I'm just going to mention quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford, Cam Newton's on here, and he's not even on a team. Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, Ben Roethlisberger, Baker Mayfield could come back.
He could. I expect him to bounce back. I don't know about that much, but
yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. Would you have thought that Lamar Jackson would have won it last year? I mean,
no, it's true.
I mean, you never really know with this.
Yeah.
It's been so interesting the past couple of years with this.
Yeah, for sure.
And then other positions, Jordan, do you want to hop in here a little bit, or are you just waiting for your pick?
Well, I'm just waiting for my pick. I didn't know we were going to do this before.
Oh,
so.
Okay.
That's
surprise. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
So let's get away from the quarterback position a little bit here when we're talking about it, because there are possibilities that other people could win it. A lot more would be towards the running back. I mean, there's Saquon Barkley, who didn't have the best year last year because he got injured. Christian McCaffrey, another one. He is now the highest paid running back in the league. He does a lot more than be a running back, which could definitely put him at the top of the running back list for me in terms of odds for the MVP. Zeke Elliott is also another one to throw out there. So the top running backs in the league.
Yeah, for sure. And if it's not a quarterback, I think my next bet would be that it's a running back. But I fully expect it to be a quarterback. I think, running back, some people think that, they're not that important. But if you have a really good running back, that could take your team far, especially if they're multidimensional. Like McCaffrey, he's so good because he's strong, he's tough, he can run to the inside, the outside, he can, make plays in the passing game. So if you told me a running back would win it, my bet would be on McCaffrey. But I still expect it to go to a quarterback.
Yeah, and maybe let's throw in the possibility, we haven't seen this in a while, but defensive players are also in the running for this. It's been so long since we've seen that. But maybe Aaron Donald or Khalil Mack could come back. TJ Watt is really on the rise now. I mean, Nick Bosa as well, with him winning Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. It's not highly possible, but you cannot throw out the idea of it, because all it takes is one dominant season for
sure.
A player like that to get their name written in the MVP category. So those are just some of the guys we wanted to mention before. Now we are going to make our picks. I don't know if we mention all of our picks in those people, but they're about to get mentioned now. So Jordan, let's start with you because I know you're very anxious to get this going with your pick.
Hello guys, welcome to the video, or welcome me to the video I should say, because I haven't said anything yet, besides going like this and maybe said that I didn't know we were doing this. That's about the only things that I said, but now I do know what I'm doing. Now I have some stats pulled up on my screen, so let's talk about this guy. First off, like we said, if you watched the live stream, we did talk about our MVP picks in there. We picked them very fast. It was live, it was pretty fun, so that was really a good time. Now to my pick. We talked about quarterbacks being the MVP. This quarterback has been dancing around this award for such a long time. He's been rising up, then towards the end falling down, especially last year. But his name is almost always in the conversation. He's had a great year. He's such a dynamic quarterback. It's finally his year, in my opinion. I'm going with Russell Wilson to win the MVP award for this year. Russell Wilson, he has such a great resume. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won one against the Broncos, lost the other one against the Patriots.
He definitely could have won that one.
Yeah.
The Malcolm Butler interception. I know Ryan loves that one.
Intercepted the goal line.
So first, he's been in those big moments. I'm pretty sure he's been to the playoffs every single year. At least that's what it was showing on here. So that he can take his team all the way there. Now, there are more parts around him that are getting better. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, the running backs will hopefully improve. But I still think he'll have the most value on this team. He is such a great quarterback. He moves in the pocket so smoothly. He also knows how to get out of the pocket and run. And even like towards the beginning of his career, he was a big runner. He ran a decent amount of time. But with time, he's ran less, but he still moves so much more.
Yeah,
he's so
mobile.
He gets out of the pocket. He throws beautifully on the run. He's just such a great quarterback in my mind. He leads his team so well. I think he's really good. And not to mention, he's one of the only 2 quarterbacks with a QB rating over 100 in his whole career right now. The other one is Aaron Rodgers. That's just an interesting stat that I found on Wikipedia and confirmed on the website that I am right now, Pro Football Reference. So I think that Russell Wilson is such a great quarterback, passing, running, moving, whatever you want to say. He's a very, very great quarterback. I think it's exactly a complete quarterback. He's been dancing around the award, like I said, for years. His name always in the conversation. But this year, I think, is his year to grab it.
All right, so you definitely made some interesting points there, but my pick is a different one. It's also a quarterback. I think we're all going quarterback, but my pick is Deshaun Watson, the Texans quarterback. This is a guy, he's still relatively young, but he's kind of been, maybe in the mix the past few years. Maybe you see him in top 10 in the odds, maybe, but he never really put it all together where you could have an MVP case. He's had some very good years, but he just hasn't quite been on the same tier as some of the guys that have won it in the past 2 years. But I think this is his year to break through because we have to remember that this is the MVP award. That V is valuable. You don't have to be the best, but I think he's going to be so valuable to this Texans team because, one, his favorite target just got traded away for a running back that hasn't been good in 4 years and a second-round pick who was drafted to play defense, so that's not going to help him directly. And what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to find a way to keep this offense afloat, and he's going to have to find a way to distribute the ball to new guys. He's not just going to be able to rely on D-Hop anymore because D-Hop is catching passes from Kyler Murray in Arizona. So I just think that what's going to happen is he's going to have to take this team on his back and say, okay, we have to keep this offense going. We still think we could win now. They've been, we know they can win the division. The question is, can they take that next step? It's just they've never been to an AFC championship ever, so they've been, they've gone that good 10-6, 11-5, won the division, but they haven't really gotten to that next level of true contention. So it's going to be up to Deshaun Watson to take them there. And you look, why I think he's going to win this is because people are going to be expecting him to decline after losing DeAndre Hopkins. But some people, I think Bucky Brooks was one of them, who said he thinks the Texans offense might get better without DeAndre Hopkins just because Watson will be forced to distribute the ball more, and he's not going to. It's almost like he was spoiled by DeAndre Hopkins. I don't quite fully understand that, but kind of get it. Maybe he was trying too hard to get the ball to Hopkins and ignoring other receivers who have talent. Because say what you want about the trade for Hopkins, or the Hopkins trade, it was bad, but the Texans,
Trade?
well, you know what the excuse for
giveaway?
The trade. The giveaway, yeah. The free giveaway with Hopkins, yeah. It was bad, but the Texans do still have some solid receivers. They got Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb. Cooks, he's only 26, but he's already played in 2 Super Bowls. He's played with some great quarterbacks already.
26.
Yeah, pretty crazy, right? I think I'll double check, but He is a still young guy. He's probably going to be their deep threat. Will Fuller, if he could stay healthy, I think he's going to be great. Randall Cobb, a veteran guy. Kenny Stills, there's some trade rumors surrounding him, but if he's still on the team, I think he will have a solid year. And there's other guys, towards the bottom of the depth chart. Kiki QT, a guy that I still think has potential but hasn't gotten much playing time. And then they also have some other guys in the room. But as far as Deshaun Watson is concerned, because I think he's going to win this award because he's going to have to take a team on his back, go without his number one receiver, put up with Bill O'Brien, and he'll somehow be able to take this team to the playoffs, and I think they'll at least win one playoff game. So I think that he will be able to have the same production in a year where many expected him to decline, and I think he's going to be the main reason the Texans are back in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And I like what you said about the value, and I could go back to Russell Wilson and explain value with that. I'm not going to right now because I know Tyler wants to go.
Yeah.
But I was just going to say that last year with Lamar Jackson winning MVP, then with Mahomes winning MVP, it seemed like these teams were so good and got a first or second seeding in their division.
Yeah.
So I think if Deshaun Watson was to be in the conversation to win MVP, truly in the conversation, I think he'd have to put his team really, really good throughout the regular season, like 12 plus wins, I would think, just because, I don't know, just how it works. In my opinion, these teams really need to be really good to have a true MVP on their team.
And Lamar didn't win a playoff game, though. So
Yeah.
Maybe, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's why I didn't mention playoff wins, because I know Lamar didn't win a playoff game last year, or the year before.
Ever.
Anyways.
Yeah. And you're talking about value. To me, already, even before the season starts, the guy I'm going to say, I know it's bland, I'm just going to say it right now, I'm picking Patrick Mahomes. I know it's very bland and boring, whatever, say what you want about it. But he's already one of, if not the most valuable player to the NFL, to his city, to his teammates. I mean, to me, as long as this offense is productive, just like they were last year, and he stays healthy, I think Patrick Mahomes, and no one else comes out and does what Lamar Jackson did last year, Patrick Mahomes has a clear shot at this. Yeah, I don't even need to talk about the offense. I could talk about so much, all the receivers they had, the addition of Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the offseason in the draft. Now they have an even better run game. I mean, this offense is going to be insane. I would highly doubt that it's not going to be that way. But it's just a matter of being able to wait. And I feel like now the MVP award just goes to, the quarterback of the team that has really had the best offense. I mean, we saw it last year with the dynamic offense with the Ravens, and Lamar won that. And then Patrick Mahomes won it 2 years ago. You could go back to 2016 when Matt Ryan won it. I mean, you don't expect that, but that's because the Falcons' offense was so good. You could continue when Cam Newton won it with the Panthers and go way back. I mean, it seems like the better offenses and the standout offenses in the league, the quarterback of that team is always winning it, and I feel like that's going to go back to Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to be the second one. So that was all three of our predictions, and we threw out other names in there. Well, that would be kind of interesting if one of the names that we threw in, and none of the names that we threw in there ends up winning it, because I feel like that has happened in the last 2 years. Yeah. I'm not sure what the odds for Mahomes and Jackson were before.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow was actually on that list. I did see it. I just didn't say his name. The list I was looking at. But there it was, guys. Let us know what you think of our MVP picks. Let us know who you think is going to... Well, I don't think our receiver is going to win. But I mean, if you want to...
Watch now, receiver's going to win.
Maybe. It's possible. I mean, so there it was. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your MVP picks are. Like this video. Subscribe to our channel. Comment down below. Hit the notification bell. And with that, we will see you guys later.
See ya.